So I want to show you this thing from the news real quick, because Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett's claiming it's all the unvaccinated people who are infecting people with the coronavirus 19, and this is not true. They just said that people who are getting vaccinated are infecting people with the Delta variant.
I'm going to watch 12.
There's major news in the pandemic tonight. The CDC now recommends people wear masks indoors in public, even if they're vaccinated, when they're in areas with substantial and high COVID-19 transmission rates. Those areas are marked in orange and red on this map. Wisconsin is mostly in the yellow or moderate transmission rate. But if you zoom in, the map shows Milwaukee and Waukesha counties are classified as having substantial transmission, accelerated by the Delta variant.
Some vaccinated people infected with the Delta variant after vaccination may be contagious and spread the virus to others. This new science is worrisome and unfortunately warrants an update to our recommendation.
The Centers for Disease Control is also now recommending universal masking in schools. 12 News' Ben Wagner is at Milwaukee Public School headquarters, and Ben, NPS has already said it is requiring masks in the fall.
Right, Joyce. A decision has already been made here at MPS. Signs like these likely will be up for some time. Other local districts are still deciding what, if any, mask policies will be in place this fall. But this new guidance could reignite a hotly debated topic in local schools.
The Delta variant has been game-changing in our approach to the pandemic.
The CDC's new guidance recommends all students and staff wear masks this fall, regardless of whether they've been vaccinated. The reason? The highly contagious Delta variant spreading and a lack of vaccines for kids younger than 12.
This is simply the best step moving forward.
It was just months ago that mask policies in schools led to fiery school board meetings.
What do we get for feeling the restriction stuff now? Freedom?
Some districts deciding to repeal mask mandates with just days left in the year. Now, as the focus shifts to this fall,
I prefer not to have masks on.
some parents are hesitant to bring masks back into classrooms.
I don't think there's any need for it. I mean, if the kids are vaccinated, I don't think there's really need to push them to wear the mask.
Others say the decision is more nuanced.
I think that for the kids that can't be vaccinated, I think it would be a good idea to have them wear the masks, but part of me feels the ones that are already fully vaccinated don't necessarily need to, because, well, that was kind of the reason why we all got vaccinated.
Katie Barksdale's 8-year-old daughter Taylor wore a mask all last year.
Would you be okay wearing one this fall?
Yeah, I'll be okay. Yeah, as long as I'm safe.
Now, Ben, to be clear, this announcement from the CDC is just a recommendation.
Right, Joyce. It is guidance. Local school boards will be the ones still making the decision for mask policies this fall. It's also important to point out the CDC is recommending that schools across the board return to in-person learning full-time this fall. Joyce.
Moving on now, Ben Wagner reporting live.
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett says the city is not ruling out another mask mandate. Wisconsin reported more than 900 new COVID cases today, the most in a single day since mid-April. 12 News' Derek Rose joins us now live. Derek, the effort to track
Right there's your reason, because of the Bucks parade.
The Deer District.
Yeah, Patrick, that's because of two recent events where Milwaukee saw two of its largest crowds since before the pandemic. The night the Bucks won the title, thousands stood on top of one another outside.
Dr. Fauci is cringing at home as he's watching our game.
Now even more eyes are watching from the 65,000 here.
Very difficult to socially distance and stuff.
To 300,000 who lined Milwaukee streets for the celebration, parade, and party. Hindsight for health officials.
More idiots.
Includes plenty of joy, plenty of excitement, but just as much concern.
Still riding high on the fabulous performance by the Bucks last week, but there's a little sobering energy.
And that's the biggest idiot right there in Wisconsin.
The celebration for our Milwaukee Bucks is 2021 NBA champions. We will be closely watching COVID-19 cases for links to these large gatherings.
The mayor noted Tuesday it's too early to tell because symptoms could take up to 10 days to show. But health officials added a Deer District category for the contact tracing process in the city and county. And with just over a week until the state fair, that same concern is looming as large as the potential crowds it will draw.
Okay, right there, you just heard it yourself. From the news, Channel 12, WISN, ABC, saying that it is the vaccinated people who are spreading the coronavirus 19 Delta variant. It is not the unvaccinated people, like scumbag Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett is saying, and scumbag Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is saying. And if they were worried about this, then why did they allow the Milwaukee Bucks to have a parade downtown with over 60-some thousand people, most of them, at least 90%, not wearing their PPE? See, Tom Barrett and Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers like to blame this on the unvaccinated people. And so does the government. And I've been saying since day one, as a decorated officer who has served this country and a person who is trained in this, it is not mostly the unvaccinated people who are spreading this. Because they said, the CDC said right out, you can still catch this if you are vaccinated. You can still spread this. And that is why people are even dying from getting vaccinated. A 40-year-old nurse just died not too long ago who got vaccinated and caught the coronavirus 19, as well as a 13-year-old person. And then you got scumbag Dr. Anthony Fauci, or however you say his name, still urging people to get vaccinated when it's proven that these vaccines don't work and are not approved by the FDA. I said right out from the start that the communist Chinese government released this on the world on purpose, and they created this purposely as a form of germ warfare. And yet our government doesn't want to admit it, is what it is, even though they know that's true. This was something that was released on the world as germ warfare. And I feel that the communist Chinese government should pay for this, and they should be held responsible by any means necessary. It is not the Chinese citizens who caused this, it's the communist Chinese government and the scientists who caused this, including the rumor of a U.S. scientist from one of the major universities that was supposedly in on this, and he indicted himself in this matter. This is just another way for the United States government and the state governments to try and control people. Believe me, I spent most of my adult life working with the United States government and or serving with our government and our country, and I have seen massive amount of stuff that our government, the corruption and the stuff that they're into, whether it's germ warfare, biological warfare, chemical warfare, you name it. Our government's not innocent in this either. The United States government is also responsible for this, as well as the communist Chinese government. And yet, you have politicians out there, like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who are both dirtbags, who sit there and say, oh, it's the unvaccinated people who are spreading this. And then you got dirtbags like Tom Barrett, Milwaukee Mayor, and scumbag Tony Evers. And you know what? I told you, I'm a decorated officer who served this country. I'm not afraid to call it like I see it. Simple as that. I said right out from the start, we were in this for the long haul when this happened. And our government knows a lot more than what they're saying. And these vaccines aren't safe. They're not even proven. They're not even tested right by the FDA or approved by the FDA. You know, there's no guarantee with these. And a lot of people are dying from getting vaccinated. And you're going to trust the government? What is wrong with you people? Stop being a follower. Be a leader. Take charge. So right there you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. The lady from the CDC is saying that people who are vaccinated can still spread the coronavirus 19. And then you have some stupid, dumb parents on TV who are sitting there saying, well, we don't feel that they should have to wear masks if they're vaccinated, because otherwise what was the point of getting vaccinated? Well, first of all, these parents are a bunch of idiots, because it was not proven that this vaccine could stop the coronavirus 19. Okay, it was proven that you could still catch it. The CDC said that from day one, after they found that out. And yet you got parents like this who are naive and stupid and think that just because they're vaccinated that they can't get it at all. You know, I said right out, you know, as a decorated officer who served this country and as a political candidate running for public office and a person with just common sense smarts, that we're in this for the long haul. I said this from day one. And like I said, you got people out there like that idiot Tom Barrett and our president and our vice president who sit there and blaming it on the unvaccinated people. Well, the lady from the CDC just said, and you just saw it, that people who are fully vaccinated can still spread the coronavirus 19. What is it going to take for this country to wake up? Just because you get vaccinated with some garbage that they claim is safe and that they claim can help doesn't mean that you can't catch this and that you can't spread it. For crying out loud, it's no wonder this world and this country's going down the drain because of stupid people who are not experts and people who think they know it all, but they're not. Leave it to the people like us who serve this country and who know what we're talking about. Instead of dumb politicians who don't know their ass from their elbow. Let's put it that way.